Alright guys, welcome to another Duet Night Abyss video on the channel. In today's video, I'll be breaking down and quickly going over all currently known characters for Duet Night Abyss. This will include both launch and incoming characters. The way I'll format this is to not make the video too long. I'll go over the character names, designs, their weapons during gameplay, and give a small preview of their kits and what they provide during the game. Also, before we start, if you guys want to be kept updated on everything Duet Night Abyss, like the video, subscribe, put those notifications on, it helps a lot as I made a completely new channel just to cover this game. I'm also planning to do some giveaways, part of the 1k subscriber special on Duet Night Abyss specifically. To my subscribers, will I give out some of these skin currency for the gacha for free. Leave a comment down below to enter for the future giveaways. But alright, let's get right into it. We have about 23 characters to break down for this video. I believe we have 19 launch characters and already 4 characters that are confirmed for future releases. We're getting a brand new one for launch day, and then a few weeks later in November, we're going to be getting one more character. I'll go more into detail about that by the end when we break down all the characters, but for now, let's take a look at every single character and what do we know about them. The first character we can take a look at is Brenica. She's a sword and dual pistol character. She's basically a DPS unit that switches between melee and range combat, which is pretty interesting. I always love characters that do that. Her ultimate summons Ymir, letting her unleash high speed slashes until sanity runs out. That's like a meter. Gain sanity back when dealing damage. Now we have Lyn. She's a great sword and dual pistol user. Basically a fire DPS called Pyro DPS with both melee and range gun modes. Ultimate activates her twin pistols, Hansel and Gretel, that is the name of these pistols, that enables like a rapid fire AoE mode. She has strong burst damage and debuff for increased damage taken. Alright, now for the third character we have Outsider, a dual blade dual pistol character. This guy, he's more of a stealth DPS similar to Loki from Warframe, because this game seems to have a lot of similarities and they even took as inspiration for some of the characters directly from Warframe. So you might have noticed some with some other characters for the Warframe players, but this guy can go invisible, deal bonus ambush damage, and enter a boosted combat mode immune to hit stun. One other thing, he can also convert healing into shield during ultimate, so he'll be pretty good to keep your team alive. The fourth character, Fantasio, a greatsword shotgun character. He's going to be the Umbro element, so a Umbro DPS, and he's capable of transforming into like a beastly fury form that looks pretty cool for those who haven't seen it. But this guy, definitely one of my favorite characters. He gains buffs based on sanity, and he has something called the Adagio stacks. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but the stronger the fight goes, the better he gets. He's basically a heavy close range burst attacker that gets stronger with the more stacks he gets, and a beastly fury mode. Alright, next up we have Cybele, one of the characters I'm most excited for in terms of design. She just looks super amazing. She's going to be a electro DPS that drops thunder orbs dealing AoE burst, builds Might of Thunder for stronger skill damage. Great for electro synergy teams, so definitely if you have other electro characters that you really want, she's going to synergize really well with those other characters. Alright, next up we have Daphne. Uses a whip sword, basically a assault rifle as well, so pretty interesting character. More of a support and healer role, so if you're in need of a healer, then you manage to farm this character, it's going to be pretty helpful. Support and healer creates a healing mist zone that restores HP and slows enemies, and the ultimate purifies and buffs ally attacks, so a buffer and a healer at the same time. We always know those type of characters are pretty valuable when it comes to these type of games. Alright, next up we got Rhythm, a katana assault rifle character. She's a fast moving electro DPS with mobility dashes, uses electro energy to chain slashes across enemies, and great speed based burst attacker. Her design looks pretty great, big fan of her design, but her gameplay as well looks pretty cool. Then we have Hellfire. He is a great sword and grenade launcher character. He has a few things that really stick to his kit, like the HP scaling pyro tank DPS hybrid. So this guy is able to fit on many teams, and a lot of things that he does as well is taunt enemies and deals AoE pyro. And he has self-healing and durable in frontline option. This guy definitely a good pick. We'll see if that changes as I believe most of the ratings on this website is based on the beta. So I would do a tier list with these ratings, but unfortunately this is all based on the beta, and we all know that in 1 week from now this is not going to look the same, so I'm going to wait on that. But at least we have a good breakdown of what the characters do and their roles and everything. That's what we'll keep breaking down in this video. So next up we got Randy, a sword pistol character. This guy is a pretty unique design, shield support and team defender. He's able to deploy a large barrier that blocks damage, and he scales with HP and defense, providing strong protection. Alright, now for the number 10, we got Rebecca, polearm and grenade launcher weapon. She's a hydro summoner who deploys jellyfish-like drones for sustained AoE. So for those who like summoning characters or summoner type characters, this character is definitely for you. Her ultimate deals big bursts of damage based on poison stacks and continuously off-field DPS potential. Next we got T-Beth, more of a sword and bow unit. So for those looking for a bow type of character, this guy's gonna be pretty cool. Support control character, summons tentacle that mobilizes enemy and deals hydro damage. And he also builds crit chance over time and has strong crowd control utility. So overall looking like a cool character. We got Fushu, a whip sword and bow character, another bow character, but this time she will instead be a healer and a recovery support, sanity recovery support, summons 2 companions that restore HP and sanity, and the ultimate grants ultra shield and buff skill damage. Alright, next up is my personal favorite. We got Truffle and Filbert. As soon as I saw this character, you guys know, for those who come from my Wuthering Waves channel, she's basically a 1-for-1 copy of Phoebe, and that character is another character I like a lot. So she's basically Phoebe from Wuthering Waves, and I'm not complaining as for design, amazing design. And aside from that, if we check the rating here, she's tier 0 and everything. That was surprising, but again, it's the beta, it could change. But so far, she seems like a pretty cracked character. She's a support healer duo, and Truffle rides Filbert, basically the pig, to basically do a lot of healing and AoE damage. And not only that, the pig is really useful for travel. You can ride really fast on that thing. Basically, you know that the guy in Warframe that runs really fast, think of that, but basically you're riding a pig. And she provides damage reduction and utility for longer fights. So overall, an amazing character. Definitely the character I'm gonna go for first. Alright, next up we got Margie, a polearm shotgun character, another pyro DPS, but she gains something called jackpot stacks by collecting items, and then she converts these stacks into massive AoE burst attacks, also gives team-wide attack buffs. So pretty good support and damage all around. Then we got Yell and Oliver, a sword shotgun character, pyro bomb repair, think like a explosion heavy DPS character, and basically the ultimate, you rain a bunch of bombs above on the enemy and it does big AoE damage, great for wave clearing and burst fights. Then we got Lady Neff, a katana pistol character, dual element Lumino and Umbro DPS. So dual element could be pretty valuable depending on how the content works with the element and everything. But this is the first dual element character I've seen in this game. She can switch between 2 stances, solar and lunar. So probably between these 2 stances is going to be the different elements. And she reduces enemy attack or movement speed based on these modes. Alright, then we got Psyche, polearm and assault rifle, the face of the game, fast hybrid DPS, ultimate lets her fly and chain attack in flamboyant mode, and builds attack and skill buffs through random effects. So yeah, we've seen this character quite a lot. A lot of people are hyped for this character. Then we got Fina, a sword assault rifle character, supports buffer with multi-element enhancement, grants hydro, pyro, electro, and amino buff to allies, amazing team synergy from XCOM. So like, this character is like an all-rounder support. Universal supports in games tend to have a long meta duration, so this character will be no exception. Probably going to be tier 0 on the tier list for sure if these don't change, as she just really good value on every team. Definitely a character you want to go for. Then we got Lizbel, new pink-haired character reveal in the launch trailer. No confirmed kit yet, but expected to be one of the final 1.0 key release units. We should be able to get her for free at launch day, so pretty hype. Love her design. But yeah guys, we basically just went over the full 19 characters, the full 1.0 launch roster that will be available at launch. Then we got other characters, 4 more characters on the way that are already confirmed. They are named Ko, Hilda, Jiu, and Yuming, are all confirmed but will release at a later date. Global drop, it launches on October 28th. For me, that's going to be later tonight on 10 p.m. Eastern. So for those who want to do the conversion. And then we have another character dropping in November called Fina, and I believe that's going to be sometime in November. I don't remember the launch date, But once we get closer to this character release, I'll for sure let you guys know and do a full breakdown on that character as well. But yeah guys, that was a quick look at all 19 launch characters and all 4 incoming characters for Duet Night Abyss. Drop a like if this helped, subscribe if you're hyped, and let me know down below which character do you want of this list the most. For me, it's definitely gotta have to be the Phoebe lookalike. Big Phoebe fan, so I'm gonna get Peep for sure. You guys will know what you guys are gonna pull down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.